Need for Speed Underground 2, Half-Life 2, or GTA San Andreas. These are the games that made our childhood awesome, and I think that most of you have played one of these productions, or at the very least, have seen gameplays or heard about them. Some games age better than others, and that's where modding comes in. It gets even more exciting when big and very experienced companies provide a tool that, with a bit of knowledge and patience, can completely transform the look of these timeless classics. I'm talking about, of course, the RTX Remix. All three games I mentioned are averaging around 20 years old now. Thanks to this tool, you can give these games kind of a facelift, with full ray tracing, phenomenal reflections, and improved lighting. But if you wonder what RTX Remix actually is, let me explain. It is a modding platform built on NVIDIA Omniverse, enabling modders to easily capture game assets, enhance materials with AI tools, and create RTX remasters of classic games with ray tracing and DLSS upscaling technologies. The development and promotion of that tool were a part of NVIDIA's broader effort to showcase the capabilities of its RTX graphics cards, like the RTX 4090. Within the developer settings of RTX Remix, there's a section for game setup where modders can manage UI textures. This section provides a visual list of textures in the current scene, which need to be tagged to ensure proper handling by RTX Remix and to avoid confusion with in-game textures. So as you can see, this tool is powerful, really. It has the ability to capture textures, geometry, lighting, and cameras from the game thanks to a custom D3D9 runtime known as the RTX Remix runtime. This runtime facilitates rendering instructions, draw calls, to the GPU, which is crucial for the rendering process. And by using all of this, modders have the flexibility to use a combination of AI texture tools and their own artwork to replace textures, objects, and materials in the game with higher quality versions. At the moment, there are already quite a few projects attempting to utilize RTX Remix for modding other games. You can check out the efforts of modders in remastering games on the RTX Remix Discord, the link to which will be provided in the description down below. For me personally, one of the most interesting projects is the one remastering Underground 2, and I talked about it in one of my videos a few months ago. It's being developed by a group of enthusiasts, and I've been following this mod since they started working on it, and it has come a long way. In the version from a few months ago, for instance, the streetlights would turn off as we passed them because the original game saved resources that way. And also, the whole world was very dark due to the small number of light sources, which had to be placed one by one separately. Currently, the mod looks much better, although it's still not perfect. For example, while the ambient lights look extremely impressive, the car lights don't work too well, which takes away a bit of the game's charm at the moment. Also, you'll need very powerful hardware to run the modified Underground 2. You can try it out by yourself because they keep updating it on GitHub all the time with new assets, textures, and improvements. But remember, it's a mod that's still in the early stages of development, and optimization will come when other things are finished. As we can see on the RTX Remix Discord server, people are working on many more games, including other classic Need for Speed titles. One great example is Most Wanted, which, using this tool, now looks incredible. Racing games are leading the way for modders to remaster, as they're usually the genre that takes a lot of pride in their visuals. We only have to look at the recent installments of Gran Turismo or Forza to see how AAA developers are pushing boundaries. Let's hope some more remasters appear over the horizon soon. But it's not just the racing games. As mentioned earlier, Half-Life 2 is also undergoing remastering efforts. And what's even better is that NVIDIA has appreciated the work of modders and will officially release Half-Life 2 RTX soon. While Valve is aware of this NVIDIA-backed project, the company behind one of the greatest PC games ever made has no formal involvement. It must be said, however, that development has only just kicked off a few months ago, with the current 4 mod teams, now called Orbifold Studios, actively looking for extra modding help to get the rather sizable task finished. Almost every asset in this project is being reconstructed in high fidelity. Full ray tracing is being used to bring cutting-edge graphics to the game, with the remastered version featuring 8 times the pixels in average world textures and 20 times the geometric detail in assets like the suit. The game also boasts realistic light refraction and reflection, enhancing the overall immersion for players. It's amazing because as a full RTX Remix project, you're getting the full Half-Life 2 game effectively remastered. You're getting new high-resolution assets, fully ray-traced lighting, and RTX I/O support. That ought to bring the game right up to 2023 standards. And honestly, the project's sizzle reel makes it look pretty incredible. Also, when I was explaining to you what RTX Remix is and how its launch looked like, I forgot to mention a very important game, To promote this platform, in December 2022, NVIDIA released a high-fidelity reimagining of Valve's timeless game Portal, with RTX features showcasing the potential of RTX Remix. Then in July this year, RTX Remix was used to remaster Portal Prelude, the highest-rated Portal mod. It was made available for free to all Portal owners on Steam. Created by Nicolas Grevet and others, Portal Prelude is an unofficial Portal prequel, featuring a new, extremely challenging 10-hour campaign composed of 19 new test chambers, new advanced gameplay mechanics, a fully voiced story with NPCs, and a whole lot more. Fans of Lara Croft's adventures have also tried their hand at implementing RTX Remix into the original Tomb Raider, and I must admit, it looked phenomenal. It's unbelievable that a game with such low detail can look so good with path tracing. However, this project was somewhat overshadowed by the announcement trailer of the official remaster of Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3, which was released a few weeks ago. Let me know in the comments down below which of the old games from your childhood you'd like to see in a new version. And now let's move on to another game, specifically GTA San Andreas. I talked about it in one of my previous videos, but since then, the community has put in a lot of work to improve the game's appearance with this tool. Not only did they implement RTX Remix into the classic GTA, adding ray tracing into the game, but they also started working on replacing the assets with higher quality ones. The plan involves completely replacing textures or meshes in the original game. Just look at how incredible the game already looks at this early stage of the project. To be honest, I can't wait for the continuation. GTA San Andreas has aged significantly, but that's partly due to the complexity of the game. Rockstar focused heavily on the open world and game mechanics, which caused that the graphics, even at the time of its release, wasn't anything special. Upon release, while some reviews praised the game's graphics, others noted that the game was beginning to show its age in terms of graphical fidelity. As time progressed, the graphics of San Andreas became more noticeably outdated, especially when compared to newer entries in the series or other modern games. Modding community members stepped in to enhance the game's graphics. The biggest mod in terms of graphics improvement is arguably the ENB series. It aims to bring better graphics to games by adding new effects and allowing users to tweak each effect through the integrated editor. ENB series began to garner significant attention, especially after it was applied to GTA San Andreas. The first version was released on December 3, 2007, so it's over 15 years ago. It substantially improved the game's graphics by adding features that the original game engine didn't support, like screen space ambient occlusion in its first version and other graphical enhancements in subsequent versions. By the way, mentioning GTA San Andreas, I thought I'd love to revisit that game because I haven't played it for a few months. Let me know if you'd like to see a video on remastering GTA San Andreas using mods. You can also suggest which mods I should try, so if you know any, let me know in the comments. For now, I won't be using RTX Remix because it's in too early stage to make the game fully playable, but perhaps that will change in a few months. But getting back to the topic of ENB series, depending on the game, you can get effects and features such as image-based lighting, ray-marched volumetric sun rays, screen space reflections, detailed shadows, various types of ambient occlusion, and also indirect lighting, depth of field, bloom, HDR, subsurface scattering, various water and rain effects, improved fog, per time of day lighting adjustments, and much more. Seeing some of these effects implemented to the old GTA back in the late 2000s was a huge deal, but when I look at videos showcasing the early versions of ENB series for San Andreas today, to be honest, it doesn't look that impressive anymore. Fortunately, this mod has evolved significantly. People started creating their own configurations, each with its unique vibe, and there is something for everyone's taste, but it's not all that perfect. The issue with ENB series is performance. The tool itself, even when all effects are disabled, can lower performance of the game. And then, the more we want to improve the graphics in our game and add more effects, the more the frames per second drop. I don't want to take away from the brilliance of this tool though, as I often can't imagine playing without it. It's also important to note one crucial thing. ENB series is the work of one person, Boris Vorontsov, not a massive company like NVIDIA, which created RTX Remix. So, we should truly appreciate the amount of work that has gone into this project. While I believe that remastering old games, or simply enhancing them, is a great thing, it's not always agreed upon by companies. Sometimes, mods created by fans, instead of being appreciated by game developers, are taken down, and all the modders' hard work goes to waste. This has happened countless times in the case of mods for the entire Grand Theft Auto series, but Take-Two Interactive isn't the only company doing such things. Recently, Activision shocked the Call of Duty community by sending a cease and desist to the SM2 developers, canceling the game. It was a free-to-play mod that used the Modern Warfare 2019 engine and included a long list of familiar features. The developers said they plan to include over 100 weapons on release, 24 perks, a progression system, and more. That's why I am worried about some of the projects created using RTX Remix, especially those that are already in an advanced stage. Let's hope that nothing bad happens to them. Before we wrap up, I want to give a huge shout out to all my patrons for supporting my work. Thanks for staying till the end of this video. Have a great day, everyone, and see you in the next one.